Good morning, I am Kiran Raj. Welcome to the online classes on data structure. Today we will see about the arrays, records and pointers. Fourth part. I have given you the assignment and only some of them have submitted it. Most of them did not give the concentration on the provided instructions or the previous class videos. In the instructions I have clearly mentioned that you have to see the algorithm, then you can build the program very easily. And some of them try to upload the things on the last day, date is over or the due date got over. So please don't neglect data structure subject. In the starting class of today, I'll be explaining about the algorithm and the program of it. So I'll directly go to the algorithm. This is the algorithm for your traversing of the array, and I have already mentioned traversing, that means you are processing the every elements of the array at least once, or you are visiting every elements of the array at least once. So when I say here process, it can be anything, whether you are deleting, inserting, or you are assessing, or you are displaying, it can be anything. So that is a program I have written here. Instead of setting the k is equal to lb or ub, you can directly write it for j is equal to 0, j lesser than n, j plus plus. I am inserting the elements, so that means I have now elements and the LA. So I am just want to process it, so I am going to just display the elements. So for j is equal to 0 to j lesser than n, j plus plus, C out LA of j. Now let us say that you want to do the program as per the algorithm, no problem. I'll set k is equal to 0 because my lower index or the lower bound value will be 0, because array will always start from 0. And in the while condition I have to check whether k is lesser than or equal to ub. ub is upper bound, that is number of elements in the array. So I can directly write n minus 1 because it is going to start from 0. So obviously the last element index will be n minus 1. So I can write k is equal to 0 while k is lesser than or equal to n minus 1, C out LA of j, k plus plus or k is equal to k plus 1, closing of the loop, exit. Next is we have the insertion. I have written the program like exact copy of the algorithm. If you see this part, this is the initialization, that is description part, where I am taking n value, k value and item value, and I am also filling the values or the elements to the array. Now let us come for the first one. Set j is equal to n. So I am setting the j is equal to n minus 1. Why I am setting j is equal to n minus 1? Because in the array my initial index will start from 0. So I am making 0 to n minus 1. But when you are writing the program or algorithm, we are considering that index starts from 1. So it is 1 to n. But in your programming it becomes 0 to n minus 1. Now while j is greater than or equal to k, again the same statement I am repeating, while j is greater than or equal to k. Then what I have to do? I am just changing the elements, that is I am incrementing elements one by one. So I will do that. LA of j plus 1 is equal to LA of j. Again I am doing the same thing. LA of j plus 1 is equal to LA of j. After that I have to decrement the element. So j is equal to j minus 1. So that is the end of my loop. So end of loop. Afterwards I have to enter the element. So LA of k is equal to item, LA of k is equal to item. Afterwards I have to increment the number of elements. So it is equal to n is equal to n plus 1 exit. Again deleting of the element. Again I have done the initialization part here, where I am having the elements in the array and I am doing the initialization to n, k and item. Now let us directly come to the algorithm here. Item is equal to LA of k, item is equal to LA of k. That is the k is the position which I want to delete. So I am deleting that. I am filling that LA of k to item. Now repeat for j is equal to k to n minus 1. So I am having the for condition. So I am applying that for j is equal to k, j lesser than n minus 1, j plus plus. Okay, why I am making again one more decrement? Because it is going to start from 0 to n minus 1. So I am making one more decrement here. So j lesser than n minus 1 or j lesser than or equal to n minus 2. Now j plus plus, LA of j is equal to LA of j plus 1. After that is a end of the loop. So I have to reset the n. In the previous insertion I have done n is equal to n plus 1, but since I am deleting the elements, that means I am deleting the item. So in that time the number of elements becomes lesser. So n is equal to n minus 1. In both insertion and the deletion, after the incrementation of n or the decrementation of the n, you have to display the element. So you can do that for j is equal to 0 to j n minus 1, j plus plus, C out LA of j close close. Representation of the polynomials using the arrays. The easiest way to represent the polynomials of degree n is by storing the coefficient of n plus 1 terms of polynomials in an array. When I am having the polynomial, just check the highest degree. For example, in this example, that is minus 7x to the power 5 plus 4x to the power 2 plus x, the highest degree is 5. So what is the number of array or the array size we require? We require n plus 1. That is 6 should be your size of the array. So I am having the 6 array size. So if you see here, this is the index part and this is the data part. If I expand this one, if I expand the polynomial here, I can write it as 7x to the power 5 plus 0x to the power 4 plus 0x to the power 3 plus 4x to the power 2 plus x to the power 1 plus 0x to the power 0. So polynomials will be having coefficient and the exponent. The coefficient is written in the data part, that is where the memory is storable, and exponent is the degree that is representing the index part. So 0x to the power 0, that comes here. So in the 0th degree you have the 0. This is x to the power 1. So what is the coefficient? Coefficient is 1. So 1 x to the power 1. Then x to the power 2. In the x to the power 2, I have the coefficient 4. So I am writing 2 and 4. Then x to the power 3, but x to the power 3 is not there. That means the coefficient is 0, so I am writing that, and then x to the power 4, again that is not mentioned here, that is 0, and x to the power 5, I have the coefficient -7, so I am writing -7. A single dimension array is used to represent a single variable polynomial. I am having the single variable here, x. So when I am having single variable polynomial, I am going to use single dimensional array or one dimensional array. Index of array is used as the exponent, and coefficient can be stored in particular index. So I am storing the coefficient in the data value and the index represent my exponent. Okay. Again, the representation is very easy, but let us see some of the disadvantages. If exponent is larger, the size of the array will be also larger. For example, x to the power 999. That means what is the size of the array will become? Size of the array will be n plus 1, that is 1000. The size of the array should be 1000. So the too much time is required to process the every elements in the array. And let us say that I have only one component, that is x to the power 999. It is kept in 999th index only, that is 999 index it will be kept. Even though from 1 to 998 index is there and they are just 0, we are not going to store the 1 there, you are going to store the 1 in 999th index only. So what is the happening there? You are wasting the space and you cannot decide the size of the array at the beginning, because we will be not knowing what is the degree of the polynomial that we are going to get. Sparse matrix. Sparse matrix with relatively high proportion of 0 entries is called as sparse matrix. Sparse matrix can be divided into two categories, that is triangular matrix and tridiagonal matrix. Triangular matrix can be again divided into two types, lower triangular matrix and upper triangular matrix. Now first let us see triangular matrix. What is triangular matrix? You are having the non-zero elements in the triangle shape, those are called as triangular matrix. Now let us see lower triangular matrix. All entries above the main diagonal are 0. Non-zero entries can only occur on or below the main diagonal. Let us see this one. So this is the lower triangular matrix. I have the non-zero element on the diagonal and below the diagonal. Above the diagonal I have 0, which I am not represented, but I have zeros here. Okay. Now upper triangular matrix. All the entries below the main diagonal are 0, or non-zero entries can only occur on or above the main diagonal. See this example. So I have all the 0 entries below the diagonal and non-zero elements on the diagonal and above the diagonal. Tridiagonal matrix. Non-zero entries can only occur on diagonal or on elements immediately above or below the diagonal. So in the tridiagonal matrix, I have the non-zero elements on the diagonal and the elements above, immediately above, that means next line only, immediately above this one or below the diagonal is called as tridiagonal matrix. Thank you.